The Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded to Charles James Kirk, accepting on behalf of Charlie as his wife, Mrs. Erika Kirk. Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential American political figures of his generation. At Team, he founded Turning Point USA and transformed it into the largest conservative youth organization in the nation. For more than a decade, he traveled tirelessly across the country leading a movement to restore respect for our founding principles, reawaken our national identity, and inspire a renewed spirit of faith and freedom. He was one of the great communicators and debaters of his time. Despite constant threats, Charlie remained steadfast, embodying courage, wit, and grace for an entire generation. On September 10th, 2025, at the age of 31, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while addressing a group of students. Today, the United States honors him as a martyr for truth and freedom.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way, and for making this event a priority even amid the peace process in the Middle East. Charlie, always admired your commitment to freedom. That's something you both share deeply. Your support of our family and of the work Charlie devoted his life to is something I will cherish forever. Thank you. To our gracious First Lady and her team, thank you for making this event possible and so beautiful. To the Vice President and the lovely Yushia, friendship has been an incredible encouragement. And to all our friends, family, and supporters watching from across the world, thank you for your love, your prayers, and for believing in what Charlie believed in. To our Turning Point USA family and the Charlie Kirk Show team, we love you more than words can express. And to every Turning Point chapter watching across America, you are the heartbeat of this movement. Everything Charlie built lives on through you. You are the proof that his mission did not die. With him, it lives through you. Charlie always said, the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure. Today, we gather not only to celebrate Charlie's birthday, but to honor the truth he gave his life defending freedom. The very existence of the Presidential Medal of Freedom reminds us that America's national interest has always been liberty. Our founders etched it into the Constitution's preamble not as relics on parchment, but as a living covenant. The blessings of liberty are not man's invention, they are God's endowment. Charlie lived by that truth. He saw liberty not as an abstract idea, but as a sacred promise. He believed freedom was both a right and a responsibility, the ability to do what is right without fear. That's how he lived, free from fear, free from compromise, and free from anything that could enslave his soul. His name, Charles, literally means free man. And that's exactly who my husband was. When I first met him discussing politics, philosophy, and theology, I saw a fire in his soul. There was a divine restlessness in him, a conviction that God had placed him on this earth to protect something sacred. Charlie often said that without God, freedom becomes chaos and that liberty can only survive when anchored to truth. He once told an audience, the opposite of liberty, captivity. He reminded us that the freest people in the world are those whose hearts belong to Christ. In a culture that defines freedom as doing whatever you want, Charlie taught that true freedom is the power to do what is right. He believed liberty cannot exist without moral responsibility and that freedom divorced from faith destroys itself. Over 12 years, Charlie built not just an organization, but a movement, one that called people back to God, truth, and courage. For a man who impacted millions, Charlie never sought the spotlight. He was humble and simple in his joyous late-night walks, books stacked high on his desk, bedtime stories with our kids, quiet Saturdays in the sun with a cup of decaf coffee and his phone turned off to honor the Sabbath. He loved small things deeply. Every birthday, I'd tell him, the world couldn't go another day without you. He'd smile, eat his mint chocolate chip ice cream, his tradition on July 4th and his birthday, and then get back to work. Last year, his only birthday wish was to see Oregon play Ohio State. Oregon won and it became one of his favorite memories. Mr. President, after 7.5 years of searching for the perfect gift for my husband, I can say with certainty you have given him the greatest birthday gift imaginable. This honor, the recognition of a life spent defending freedom, is the perfect tribute. When Charlie was taken from us, he was wearing a simple shirt that read freedom. That one word was the banner over his life. The message he carried to every campus, every church, and every stage. He never told anyone what to think. He simply encouraged them to think, to seek truth, and to live by wisdom. Charlie didn't want to admire freedom. He wanted to multiply it. He wanted young people to experience it, defend it, and live it. He reminded them that liberty isn't self-indulgence, it's self-governance under God. Every morning, he'd put on his cross necklace and his wedding ring, walking out the door with fearless resolve. He didn't fear being mocked, canceled, or misunderstood. He feared only God, and that gave him courage no one could take away. His confidence in Christ was absolute, and that's why there were no limits to what he'd sacrifice for truth. If the time had come, he might have run for president, but not for ambition, only from a servant's heart if he believed his country needed him. Charlie lived only 31 years on this side of heaven, but he lived every moment with purpose. He stood for truth when it was unpopular and for God when it was costly, and he prayed even for his enemies. He loved when it was inconvenient. He ran his race with endurance and kept the faith. Now, he wears the crown of a righteous martyr. For me and our children, this truth steadies our grief. Heaven gained what earth could no longer contain, a free man made fully free. To everyone watching, this is more than a ceremony. It's a commissioning. Be the embodiment of this medal. Free yourself from fear. Stand courageously in truth. Listen for the still, small voice of God. Freedom may be inherited in this country, but it must be stewarded every day. God began a mighty work through my husband, and I intend to see it through. The torch is now in our hands, mine, yours, and every student who carries on his mission. Before I close, I asked our daughter what she wanted to say to her daddy for his birthday. She said, "Happy birthday, Daddy. I want to give you a stuffed animal. I want you to eat a cupcake with ice cream. I love you." And while our son can't yet speak in true Kirk fashion, his actions spoke louder than words. He decided to become the man of the house and got fully potty trained at 16 months. Charlie, my love, though you celebrate in heaven today, we miss you deeply. We love you, and we promise we'll make you proud. Your life proved that freedom isn't a theory, it's a testimony. You showed us that liberty begins not in power, but in a heart surrendered to God. So today, as we honor you with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, I stand with tears, but also joy big, because your story reminds us to live free is the greatest gift. To die free is the greatest victory. Happy birthday, my Charlie. Happy Freedom Day. God bless you.